50s, 60s, or in this day and age. So I mean, you start out with the odds against you, and again, if you've got that good fabric of that foundation of family, you can really build on that. And so what I really feel is that they've taken that foundation, and what Sean and I have really learned, and what they've really instilled on us, is their ambition, their drive, the work ethic, the confidence in sharing that with Sean and I and helping us to be successful. There's no question that it's been there. They are 100% supportive of everything that we've ever done. We've gotten advice, sometimes we used it, sometimes we didn't. But even as they evolved, and your great family support doesn't pay the bills. And I was talking with my dad earlier, his first job as a teacher in a one-room schoolhouse, paying a whopping $3,500 per year. Per year. It's just, you know, that doesn't, I know the day and age in the economy, it's tough to compare, but then, you know, then going to Toronto and then working for Smith Transport, making $80 to $90 per week, and still not being able to be approved for a mortgage. But again, that ambition and drive, and as Gary said, shoulder to shoulder, facing down the road. My dad starts another business in cleaning to make that extra money, so he gets approved for the $5,200 per year to get the mortgage, to have the house and things. And I think each of you in your own way can relate to that. That's not easy. It's not easy if you're 19 or 20. It's not easy when you're 20 or 30. But that fabric or that foundation is there. The seed for success is planted, but it gets nourished by that confidence, by that ambition, that drive. And I know, speaking personally for myself, I've been able to learn and grow from that because of these two people. I remember having a conversation. I mean, they're supportive through high school, supportive through university. 1 month, almost to the day after my wife and I bought our first house, I quit my first job. And I know, phoning up and speaking to my mom, she's like, oh! And speaking to my dad, well, okay, why? Okay, sounds good. 12 years later, kind of made the same, perhaps irrational move then. I gave up a very successful consulting company because I was ready for a change, and sat down, and Karen and I went through our 3 days and pages of pros and cons, and we knew we'd be fine. We knew it was the right word, again, because of these two people. The family foundation's there. We knew whether we were 3 hours away or 300 hours away, it didn't matter. They'd be there for us. And again, I had the confidence, coupled with the support of my wife and kids, that confidence, that strength, that ambition has definitely been there. Now, there's no question that along the way there's been some questionable parenting decisions, such as orange shag carpet. I mean, if you've been to our place, that just it doesn't quite fit. My dad telling the story that he quit smoking. I didn't know he smoked. This was years ago, and I think, there's my dad. What a guy. He quit smoking because it's good for his kid. Secondhand smoking, and he tells me he quit smoking because cigarettes went to 35 cents a pack. So he knew that was the time to draw the line. Any of us with kids today, you take a look at the equipment. If you go back to your parents' place, or your grandparents' place, and you take a look at some of the cribs, the playpens, the strollers, etc. that we're in, I think that's grounds for a liability case, the way some of that stuff was designed back then. The trauma I'm finally getting over, and I don't want Debbie or Shelley to fall off their chair, but I still struggle, and I'm glad to have moved out of Ontario because I have this morbid fear of aisle 44 in Canadian Tire. Aisle 44 in Canadian Tire is the fishing section, and you find bobbers there. And one of the Harrington great things to have, it's obviously not drawing, it's not artistry. The Harrington hairline is something we can go on about, which isn't the most positive thing. The Harrington eyesight is nothing to boast about either, but thank you, Dad. But the fact that my mom insisted on me wearing bobbers while I went water skiing because I wouldn't lose my glasses. My therapist says I'm getting better, and the move out of the States, or into the States, has been very positive. But now that we're back, when we're within 2 miles of Canadian Tire, my wife will tell you I just get a little antsy. So anyhow, the good news with that is that we found no picture in the box, and I know if Sean could have found one, he would have, of the bobbers. But, and no, we will not find one. So anyhow, after that, I think just in closing, how do you evaluate success? I mean, we all know we have different measures to try to gauge that barometer. And do we measure success because they have a great home? Okay, they're successful. They have a big motor home. Yep, okay, they're successful. They have a place in Florida. Okay, great, they're successful. They travel and they're experiencing different parts of the world. Okay, great, they're successful. But I think the true testimony to the success of you folks here today. There's no question, as Sean's alluded to, as Gary's alluded to, these are great people, and great people attract great people. And I really want to thank each of you for coming out. I know my parents will. But I think, again, the true testimony to the success of these two great people are the friends and family they've got around them. So can I get everybody to stand with a glass in your hand and have a toast to my mom and dad?